Hey everybody, Way to Fail here with another Starbound Beta update. Another patch has been released, Indignant Koala, dropped on December 11th, 2013. And there is some stuff to note here. Specifically, it does not wipe characters. Hooray, but if you do want to experience the full benefit of the patch, you need to create a new character, or at least go to a different world. The list here is not nearly as long as last update, but still there's a lot to jump into. And probably the number one thing that you all will like is on line 9 here, which is birds are nerfed. If you were playing recently, the past day or so, birds were going crazy. Projectile attacks were doing massive amounts of damage. They would come at you from way off screen and go and try and kill you, ruin your day. That's no more. They don't follow you forever either, into the water, into everything else. So they've been nerfed. This is not going to be an Alfred Hitchcock's Starbound anymore. Also, just in general, some balance changes in terms of melee weapons, early armors, and more importantly, ores. And that's one of the beefier gameplay points for things to look at, because previously, with wood no longer being a fuel source, what ended up happening is that people stopped grazing the tops of worlds and actually had to start digging in. But once they dug in, they started to see, wait, there is no coal. And coal's needed for torches, coal is needed for a lot of later ore upgrades and everything. And on top of that, coal is your only early game resource. So coal ended up being very scarce in the last update, and instead you'd find a lot of gold and silver even on early worlds near the surface. So that's been fixed. And on top of that, a lot of you will be happy to hear that you can actually use wood again to make fuel. And it's kind of a compromise between the previous two systems, and if you played Minecraft, you're familiar with it as well. You can actually take 10 unrefined wood and smelt it into 1 coal. So that is about a 5-to-1 piece of wood for fuel range, because 1 coal is worth 2 fuel, unless I'm failing at math. On top of that, we have Chucklefish's first attempt to fulfill Ty's promise of incorporating into game code mods that people seem to really like, and that the lantern mod that you may have seen floating around here has been introduced into the game as an item. So now you can get a lantern, you can get backpack lanterns as well, that'll help you light caves. So that's an extra way to light up dungeons instead of having to use your flashlight, which is a narrow cone, or just dropping torches. So pretty cool there. Otherwise, we have mostly bug fixes, some UI updates. It's going to take a lot harder for you to get knocked back now, and in fact, if you're hit with projectiles, you have a tiny moment of invincibility, and that's not with many projectiles. That's like if you face a creature that does a ranged bubble spray attack. All those bubbles aren't going to hit you and just insta-gib you in one go. If you made a drill, drills go 3x3. If you've used some of the UI, there is one specific update that a lot of people ask for that is in this patch, which is that when you open your inventory, it doesn't automatically default to search. Meaning that if you hit the inventory key I, and then you have to move out of the way of a bird or whatever that's attacking you, then you're not just going to start typing the WASD keys into your search bar. Instead, you can actually start to move. So there's a few other miscellaneous changes as well. One to look out for that I'm most looking forward to is that there's going to be a lot more color diversity in the planets, just based on the fact that soil and dirt are now going to be independently generating color. At least that's my understanding from reading it. I need to see a little bit more to know kind of how it's going to work, but previously, if you had blue soil, you'd have blue dirt. If you had purple soil, you'd have purple dirt. And that's changing, is my understanding, so that's really nice. But otherwise, if you want to see these changes and you don't feel like rolling a new character, all you have to do is jump to a new world. That's whether you're playing multiplayer on a server, or that's whether you're playing single player by yourself. Just go to a new planet and go to town. So that's it for now. This is Way to Fail with another Starbound patch update. Indignant Koala, which I don't know why I have so much trouble pronouncing that word. But thank you all for sticking around. I'll try and bring the Starbound news as I get it. But there you go. Get out, play. Patch is already available. See you next time.